keyword here. These words will come more to your mind as you do more reading, and especially if you get a little bit more in a regular routine of reading out of God's Word, the Bible, so that you can actually relate to key words that will pop up, and then you knowing the meanings will help you or assist you in a better understanding of these words and how they would have been used in the translation from the Hebrew into the English. So when we're dealing with disobedience, that shows up in the Garden of Eden in the book of Genesis, when God gave the command for them to refrain from eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And of course, they did not follow that command, and they entered into a disobedience. Let's look at Samuel Johnson's Dictionary 1755 and get an understanding of what this word means. And it says, disobedience, violation of lawful command or prohibition, breach of a duty to superiors, incompliance. So when we look at even this birth record, the statement of birth record, most people are believing that they have a go-ahead to use the legal state surname. It's actually a prohibition, not a go-ahead. So, but we may think otherwise. It's because of lack of knowledge. And that's what leads to the assumption to receive a certificate. Of course, that doesn't really say given name and surname. So the birth certificate that is the most used item, not the statement of birth record that the parents filled in at the hospital. This record leads to the license, because they're never going to give you a real go-ahead to use the name. So they make it unclear and ambiguous so that they're covering themselves, the legal state, from actually telling you you really have a go-ahead. They're giving you a licensed use of a version of the name somewhat blended together, but not in the sense of good, truth, your God-given name, and then the use of the legal state assigned surname, which leads into the father of the lie, the father of the fiction, and the tag name that is required to operate in his confused, crazy world of eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So disobedience, very, very important word. Take a look at it, go over the video, you'll understand how the system you are basically or possibly operating in now is not in the direction you may have thought.